Kangaroo is perhaps the first image that comes to many people's minds when Australia is mentioned. It is no coincidence that this marsupial has become a national symbol, appearing on the coat of arms, coins, sports team jerseys, and even on the tail of Qantas aircraft. But interestingly, the journey for the kangaroo to become the emblem of an entire nation was by no means simple. It was a long process that evolved unexpectedly from the initial curiosity of the first Europeans who set foot in Australia to the enduring values that this animal now represents. About 50 million years ago, Australia broke away from a supercontinent and began drifting on its own. This isolation created an animal kingdom completely different from the rest of the world. While Europe, Asia, and the Americas are home to placental animals like lions, tigers, and leopards, Australia is a paradise for marsupials. The kangaroo is one of the species best adapted to the harsh environment of this continent. Thanks to its strong legs that can leap up to 9 meters and reach speeds of 60 kilometers per hour like a motorcycle, along with its ability to survive in arid regions by absorbing water from grass, this marsupial quickly became the dominant creature of Australia's plains. When the indigenous peoples first set foot in Australia about 50,000 years ago, they considered the kangaroo not only a source of food, but also an essential part of their cultural and spiritual lives. It appears in mythological tales depicted in rock paintings and has become a symbol of resilience and perseverance. When the legendary Captain James Cook and his crew landed in Australia in 1770, they were utterly bewildered upon seeing a creature nearly 2 meters tall, hopping on 2 legs with a pouch on its belly. Having never seen an animal like it before, they immediately asked the local indigenous people for the name of this species. According to legend, the indigenous people replied that in their local language, it was called kangaroo, and the Europeans transcribed it as such. However, there's an interesting anecdote that kangaroo actually doesn't mean marsupial, but may simply mean I don't understand what you're saying. The kangaroo, if this is true, may have originated from one of the most humorous misunderstandings in the history of cross-cultural communication. In the 19th century, when Europeans began settling on this continent, the kangaroo was not yet seen as a symbol, but merely as a food source. Kangaroo meat became an important part of the diet for the settlers. Their hides were used for clothing, and their tendons for making bowstrings and other tools. The hunting of these animals was widespread, and in some places, the number of kangaroos decreased dramatically. Yet, no one can deny that they're the most iconic animals of this land. They are found everywhere, from the vast fields of Central Australia and the lush forest fringes in Victoria to the country roads where they frequently hop across. They have become the leading cause of traffic accidents. The history of the kangaroo took a new turn in 1908 when Australia needed to choose a symbol for its coat of arms. They decided to include the image of the kangaroo along with the emu. What is remarkable is that both of these animals are incapable of moving backward, symbolizing the spirit of a nation that is always moving forward. Since then, the kangaroo has appeared on all national symbols, from the $1 coin and military insignia to the sports uniforms of Australian teams whenever they compete on the international stage. There hasn't been Olympic Games or World Cup in which an Australian team took the field without featuring a kangaroo on their jersey. However, the kangaroo is not only a cultural symbol, but also one of the most dangerous wild animals in Australia. Although they may appear gentle, a male kangaroo can reach up to 2 meters tall, boast muscles as solid as a boxing champion's, and deliver a kick strong enough to break human bones. The battles between males during the mating season are akin to real boxing matches, featuring foreleg punches and powerful hind leg kicks. Many people have been injured when trying to get too close or feed them. It is not only dangerous to its own kind, but also to humans. When fighting or feeling provoked, a kangaroo will plant its 2 forelegs on the ground, using its sturdy tail as a tripod for balance, and deliver a kick with its 2 hind legs. This force is strong enough to break bones or even cause severe internal injuries. Not only that, their long and sharp claws can easily tear flesh. The behavior of kangaroos becomes even more aggressive during the breeding season. The males frequently engage in fights to secure dominance and to mate with females. Battles can last for hours, And if a person inadvertently stands too close to an agitated kangaroo, it may perceive that as a threat and attack immediately. Many people have sustained severe injuries when attempting to approach or take photos with kangaroos that check in with them, unaware that these are genuine natural boxing champions. Numerous incidents of kangaroos attacking people in Australia have resulted in serious injuries or even death. One of the most shocking incidents occurred in September 2022 when an elderly man, 77 years old and residing in Western Australia, was attacked by the very kangaroo he kept as a pet in his home, resulting in his death. This was the first recorded fatality caused by a kangaroo since 1936, but it is not the only attack. In June 2021, a woman in Queensland was attacked by a kangaroo while walking her dog, leaving her with severe lacerations on her arms and legs that required hospitalization. Some other incidents occur when tourists or locals try to feed them, causing the kangaroos to become overly accustomed to humans and more aggressive when their food needs are not adequately met. But that's not all. Not only do they attack people, kangaroos are also the leading cause of traffic accidents in Australia. According to the Australian Insurance Council, over 80% of animal-related accidents are caused by kangaroos. Every year, about 20,000 accidents occur when kangaroos suddenly leap onto the road, resulting in hundreds of injuries and many fatalities. Nighttime is the most dangerous period, as kangaroos, accustomed to roaming on quiet roads, become panicked by the glare of car headlights. At that moment, the kangaroos will leap directly at the car headlights. This is why, in many remote areas of Australia, driving at night is extremely risky and not recommended. Therefore, the best way to avoid a kangaroo attack is to keep a safe distance. Feeding kangaroos is one of the main reasons they become aggressive. Once they get accustomed to food from humans, they may lose their patience and attack if they're not given more food. If you see a kangaroo standing upright, flexing its muscles, or thumping its tail on the ground, that's a sign it is preparing to fight. Staring intently into their eyes is also forbidden because kangaroos may interpret it as a provocation, potentially leading to an attack. The best way to reduce injuries is to lie down and curl up to protect your head and stomach, avoiding the use of your hands to fend them off since that could result in even more severe injuries. Even though they don't have venom like snakes or box jellyfish, kangaroos remain among the most dangerous animals in Australia. They inflict serious injuries. Moreover, as mentioned earlier, they are responsible for thousands of traffic accidents. Therefore, if you ever have the opportunity to visit Australia, don't let their adorable appearance fool you. A kangaroo standing openly in the field can, in just a few seconds, turn into a dangerous boxing champion, ready to unleash a kick and even a full body slam that can send you flying several meters. Despite the danger, the kangaroo remains a proud symbol of Australia. They represent strength, resilience, the ability to adapt to harsh environments, and a spirit that never backs down. This marsupial has survived millions of years of evolution, outlasting the era of human hunting, and continues to dominate the Australian plains. Today, the image of the kangaroo appears everywhere, from the vast fields in the countryside to sports stadiums, airport runways, and even on the logos of national brands. If one day you visit Australia and see a kangaroo energetically hopping along the road, remember that you're witnessing one of the greatest symbols of this country, a wild creature brimming with resilience, a warrior of nature, and, most importantly, a symbol that never backs down.